Hello again, YouTube. Now that the video about my minor Grail figure and Safeguard is done and dusted, let's talk about the Sonic acquisition. Because although these have yet to appear at retail, one of the booths did have the first wave of, well, the second wave of the Sonic 2 movie toys. Now they were marked up. They were like $20 each instead of what Target's price of $10 each would be. But I got them a hell of a lot sooner than I would have been able to from Target because they still aren't available at retail here. I only bought 2 of them because of that markup, but let's take a quick look at the back so you can see the alternates. This wave, of course, has Sonic with the accessories that is what made me want him. And then you have Knuckles, who has like a warp ring accessory with a stand. Very tempted to get him, but you know, Supersonic and original mold, had to get that. And an alternate version of Tails, complete with a backpack and the little flight helmet that he wore when he was flying the tornado. I also passed on him because, you know, there's no 4-inch scaled version of the tornado. If they did make a giant-ass 4-inch scaled version of the tornado, that would be pretty freaking awesome. But then wouldn't it also already come with this packed in with it? Well, I don't know. If they make a 4-inch scale tornado and it doesn't have a Tails in it already, then I will see about getting that. Although I kind of do want that warp ring. Like, that's basically the things I use for my wedding cake toppers, but official. Okay, so that's the quick overview of the wave itself. Now let's get into these and take a look at the figures inside. So here is Sonic the Hedgehog out of the packaging. Now there are some subtle differences between this and the Wave 1 figure, which I will put right next to him right now for comparison. And yeah, like the notable difference is, yeah, that little bit of asymmetry on his belly patch, not there anymore. They decided just to give us a good old-fashioned teardrop shape. And is this one a little bit shorter? Like, I don't think I'm leaning him forward anymore or anything. I think his legs are just a tiny bit shorter. The figure, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the way I have him standing. I don't know why, but it feels like the Wave 2 figure is a tiny bit shorter than the Wave 1 figure. I mean, you see them standing next to each other, right? Yeah, but aside from that, the big difference is that they painted in the crackling lightning effects on his fur. It's kind of weak. Do not like too much. It's kind of like the schmutz that they put on the Transformers figures to make them look like they've been fighting in the war for Cybertron and crap. It's just kind of a distraction. It makes you wish you had a clean Sonic figure. If the arcing electricity was made as a 3D decal like they did with the All-for-One Empowered Deku, or if like there was a bit more complexity to the paint job, like they did like a purple wash with like the lighter on top of it to make it look more alive, then like, I mean, I could have done that. Seriously, like, it doesn't really feel too special. But the reason why I had to get this figure was because of these accessories. Oh my, how I coveted these accessories. One is the ring pouch with the emergency use only printed on it. I kind of would have liked it if it was cinched up a little bit tighter, but here it looks like it's open. It's just a solid blob, but you can see like the designs, like front and back, like it has the little runic designs, the lines, like this looks real. This looks like his pouch from the movie. It's so cool. And of course, the map. Oh, the map of Safe Worlds. This is a thing that physically exists now. You can see the Mushroom Planet. You can see Green Hill X'd out. The reference to the Sega Saturn right there. Sega Saturn, you got Earth, the Mushroom Planet, which is supposed to be his next destination. All the other stuff. Oh god, I coveted this map so much. The only thing that would have made it better is if it was if it had joints so that it could fold up, like the Grimorum Arcanorum that the Demona figure came with. But you know, this is a $10 figure. It doesn't have NECA collector grade monies. And Sonic can hold it to present to you, which means he's looking at the blank half of the map. But yeah, he's showing you guys, so it fits neatly in his hands, and he can totally hold it. And I am so all there for it. Yeah, this accessory is absolutely why I had to get this figure. I'm going to prominently make sure this map is visible anywhere I have a movie Sonic figure. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the movie Sonic itself. I might just use... I don't know which one I want to keep as my default, because I like the better belly patch on this one, and he seems to have a better time standing than the original one does. Like, I don't know, like, there must be some subtle difference in the way the legs are molded. But... yeah, like, one of these is going to be custom fodder in the future, and the other one is going to be my default Sonic figure. I haven't decided which yet. But yeah, let's move on to probably the thing that everybody is looking forward to, the new Supersonic figure. And here he is, the Supersonic figure. I think aside from the head, the body is the exact same mold, just cast in yellow plastic, which is all fine and dandy. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first, the Master Emerald. Of all the toy emeralds that everyone's made, Tomy, Toy Island, Tomy, Jazzwares, and Jakks Pacific before, of all the Chaos Emerald props and toys ever made, this is the first one that's officially called the Master Emerald. And and the ironic thing is, although depicted way smaller than it is in the video games, it's kind of too big in this scale to be the movie version of the Emerald. Although, to their credit, it is a different cut and a different shade of green from the Chaos Emeralds that the proper video game figures come packed with. So, at least they actually replicated the cut from the movie, even if the scale's not completely right. And I feel like the one in the movie was a little darker than this, but now I'm just nitpicking. But yeah, like, personally, I think the Master Emerald should have been packed in either with Knuckles or with a recolor of the Dr. Robotnik figure. Like, when Dr. Robotnik was wielding the power of the Chaos Emerald and his costume turned all green and black, he should have come with this thing, and Supersonic should have come with a chili dog, because we all know that he just magically conjured up a chili dog in the movie as Supersonic, which is what proved that despite having infinite power flowing through him, he did not allow it to corrupt his personality. He has the proper number of head spines, 3 in the middle, 2 on each side, just like he does in the movies. And his eyes are painted the proper red color. He has that nice compromised mouth. It starts in the middle of his face, but it does go further up one cheek to do the homage to the video game, where it's always depicted on the side of his head instead of the front. And aside from that, it's basically the Sonic figure. Three spines in his back, like all the movie figures do. Textured fur. They painted the oval skin tone, although it's more difficult to pick out the skin tone against the yellow backdrop than it is against the blue backdrop. Although it does seem like the skin itself, I don't know if it's an optical illusion caused by the contrast of the color around it, but I do feel like they used a more orange color for his for the beige fur than they did for his than on the regular figure. But yeah, articulation's all the same. Universal shoulders, universal elbows, wrist joint, head swivels, nothing at the waist, universal hips, universal knees, ball joints in the ankles, which make it easier to stand the figure, and yeah, like the upturned spines can make the center of balance a little bit different from the proper Sonic figure, but he is still able to stand. Although, like, a piece of cardstock on top of what's essentially a quilt is probably not the most stable floor for it. But yes, that is movie Supersonic. What do you want me to say? Like, Supersonic is always awesome. Like, it's a very marketable design, and this is a really well-made figure of it. And unlike the 2.5-inch version, his head is not squishy. Is not made out of rubber. It's made out of the same material that the rest of him is. So, yeah, like, don't go throwing this around at people because it's not soft and spongy. It will poke somebody. So with that being said, that is movie Supersonic, and the other figure from Wave 2 of the movie line that I got. If the other figures show up in retail, I'll probably get them, especially Knuckles, because I kind of want that warp ring, but I'm not in a rush to get those. I was really all in it for this guy and for the map that the Sonic figure came with. So with that being said, this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.